Ms. Masson wants to let you guys know that there's Occidental College is visiting during lunch in your office. So if you're interested, it's from LA. Yes.
Cool. And then also today in the gym, Aaron Ray's team will be losing to my team. So if you want to see that, join us in the gym.
So the spring or fall sports are moving along nicely, but we're only a few weeks out from the transition from fall to winter, and we don't want you to not focus on the end of the fall season. But outside, right after break, I'm going to have a little table set up for just preliminary signups. I need to know numbers of individuals that want to play boys soccer, girls soccer, boys basketball, girls basketball, because I'm in. So this will be out there. I'll have the guys on one side. There's two places to sign up, and then on the upside, girls to 2 sports. If you have any inclination that you're possibly going to play, I want you to sign up, because I'm in the process of chasing down JV contests, that sort of thing, to make sure that we get adequate playing time for all the people that are going to be on these teams. So if you wait to the last minute and magically then decide to come out, you can do that, but it would help me out a lot if I kind of had a good idea of the numbers of people that are going to play in each team. So I'll be outside right after break. Thank you.
Thanks to everybody who participated in the fall fair. As is usual, I got a little list of people to thank. It's a big endeavor, and a lot of people volunteered their time, and parents too. So I'll start with Kenley Butler, who did the accounting for all the ticket sales, and all of his crew. Juliette Lee, who handled the book sale, and all of her volunteers. Of course, Mr. Sanchez and Mr. Kirkland are key to this, and the business office with Ms. Norman, Ms. Oldfield, and Ms. Sotomayor. Really, behind the scenes, a lot of extra work for them. Executive Student Council, Ms. Williston, Dr. Clevin and his jazz band, Ms. Sanico, and many parents who went beyond the call of duty. Thank you. There are so many, and many faculty who were very helpful. Thanks to all who pulled this off. I hope you had a great time. The proceeds will be posted in like 10 days, a week to 10 days. It takes them that long to get everything organized, and then you can see how much your organization earned. As always, I have an award for the most interesting, most enthusiastic, most fun group, booth, whatever, whichever thing that group of students participated in. I couldn't do it by myself this year. There was just too much variety, and there wasn't a clear winner, so I polled the faculty, and we got a bunch of ideas. We narrowed it down to marriage booth, Q&A, water polo, French Honor Society, and flower club. So I've got them all in a hat here. Can we get the president of the school up here?
Matt, you know what? Come on. You know what the water polo is?
Flower club.
To make today. First off, there's a plea from CSUMB. They have about 100 university students and some faculty from Mexico coming from November 2nd to December 6th. They're looking for host families. It pays actually $900. So these are posted on the bulletin board by the Chinese classroom of 9. Secondly, there's a dance this Friday, I believe, the Halloween dance this Friday. Yes? And I have updated the restrictions no dance list. And it's much better. And I'm not going to read the names off, but there are 2 seniors still, 11 juniors, and 4 10th graders who may not attend the dance because you have not turned in your hours from last year. So I'm talking to you about that. There are also a lot of people who are still missing a survey here or there, and so I'm going to get the seniors taken care of this week. I'm scheduling mandatory meetings with you guys today at lunch. I would like to see John, Tara, Joanna, Anna, Tienda, Armando Garcia, Thomas Perry, and Colton Rod. Bring your laptop with you to my office. Tomorrow, during Tuesday morning tutorial, can I please see Logan Allen, Victoria Pete, and Matt Vanellis? Wednesday afternoon tutorial, Christina Blau, Diana Hinojos, Calvin Nguyen, Luke Porter, Julia Rodriguez, and Navid. So I will help you get those surveys taken care of. Okay, now, there are quite a lot of days that are special every year. They are declared kind of national days. October 5th was National Do Something Nice Day. Saturday, October 25th is Make a Difference Day. And then upcoming in November is World Kindness Day, so you can start practicing that with me now by getting your surveys done. So for Make a Difference Day, there is a flyer here about it. If somebody's interested for their service learning project to plan something for next year's Make a Difference Day, you can win $10,000 if you create a really good project. Some of the projects that are here locally at Fort Ord, there's a volunteer event where you get to do habitat restoration followed by a barbecue lunch. I'll post that on the bulletin board. And then there are 6 other things that I found on the makeadifferenceday.com website. Some are in Santa Cruz, some are in Monterey, some are pulling weeds, some are building fences, things like that. So you can take a look at those if you're looking for something to do on the 25th. Then, lastly, I'm sorry, too much here. There is a event at CSUMB on November 14th, the day before Philanthropy Day, National Philanthropy Day. And if you are interested in going, it's called Pursuit Expo. It helps you figure out what you want to do for service and for career and how to tie that in with skills. And there are a bunch of flyers that look like this that are on the bulletin board, except they're black and white, and you can take one of those and see me. Thanks.
America, probably the most threatening word in my 7-year-old vocabulary. When my mother first sat me and my siblings down and broke the news about the move, I didn't believe her. I decided that she must be lying because I went to school here in Germany and all my friends live nearby. We couldn't move because my entire life was here. I wrapped denial around my shoulders like a cloak and didn't take it off until we were flying 35,000 feet above the Atlantic Ocean. I felt my intestines tie themselves into knots as I calculated the slim possibility of making friends in a strange new country. I clutched my baby blanket in a futile attempts to calm myself and glanced over at my family members every 2 minutes, checking that they hadn't magically abandoned me. Moving to Monterey from Germany, I had a grand total of 4 friends, and they were all related to me. During the plane ride, I tried to soothe myself with something that my mom was constantly reminding me of. You must let go of the old to embrace the new. I repeated this saying over and over in my head, chanting it like a mantra, but my nerves persevered. When the wheels of the plane kissed the tarmac, I felt like vomiting. But this was nothing compared to my first day of 2nd grade in American school, just 1 week later. My mom walked me to my classroom, my knees shaking, my feet refusing to cross the threshold. Smiling warmly, the teacher greeted me, confused when all I could do was glare at her fearfully. I waded through the throng of parents and children, making my way to my seat. I sat quietly, determined that I could convince my parents to move back to Germany, so making friends was unnecessary. But one thing stopped me from achieving my goal. I had forgotten about my mother. Hey there, have you met my daughter Emma? I grimaced, her voice piercing through the bubble I'd constructed around myself. We're new here, so she doesn't have any friends yet. My eyes widened in horrified embarrassment, and I raced over, nudging her aside, and introduced myself. Hi, Mama, don't believe anything she says, I said quickly, stumbling over my words in my rush to defend myself. The new acquaintance, a girl, smiled shyly and introduced herself to me. My name is Satawe. I'm new here too. We sat down next to each other on that very first day, and it marked a new era in my life. An era filled with laughter, good memories, and even better friends. I realized that what my mother had been saying might have actually been true. If I hadn't let go of my death grip on the past and embraced the new, I might have missed out on many new experiences and all the friendships that I made. So the next time that I am flying 35,000 feet above the ground, I'll know that the tingling sensation in the pit of my stomach isn't anxiety. It's anticipation.
Perfect. That's what I always try to be. I'm what you call a perfectionist. Even when I try to be purposely imperfect, it never turns out right. For example, I will think to myself, oh, I don't care what my handwriting looks like on this assignment. It's legible. Yet, 10 seconds later, I'll erase it and write it out again because I hate the way that E looked in the third word. Yes, it's true. I've never been able to color outside of the lines of a coloring book. Ever. You know how you finger paint in preschool? Imagine me, 3 years old, oh so carefully and delicately painting with one tiny finger. This summer, I decided it was going to be perfect. Normally, a perfect summer would be a sit by the beach, eating popsicles late warm evenings kind of summer. Not this time. I had a perfect plan. I, despite the advice of everyone around me, took a summer geometry class. I wanted to have the perfect schedule for sophomore year, which included taking Algebra 2. I signed up for an online course. Every day I got up and took rigorous color-coordinated notes, carefully highlighting my designated notebook, pink for theorems, yellow for definitions, and blue for postulates. Each had a beautifully drawn diagram to explain. It was truly a work of art. I was sure geometry was going to be a breeze. Wrong. It was the hardest class ever, and I had to prove what I learned by taking a final at York. The day of the geometry final arrived. I had studied all night, and when I was greeted by the bright red geraniums at the York entrance, I suddenly forgot everything I learned. My mind screamed in silent terror as I walked down the gray concrete stairs. With every step, my mind turned into mush. I opened the office door to see the test lying out precisely placed with York pencil and scratch paper. As I sat down, my heart began to jump out of my chest and my hands shook uncontrollably. All my beautiful diagrams and careful notes were being muffled by the lyrics of the last song I heard on the radio. I walked out 3 hours later, numb. I was already anxious to see my score. I neurotically checked my inbox every 10 minutes for the next few days. Finally, I received an email. My heart stopped. It then sank to my feet with a thud as I read the message. I didn't pass. This was not part of my perfect plan. The school year would start, and I would not be in Algebra 2. I was devastated. In all honesty, I'm still not happy with the outcome. I'm gradually accepting the fact that I'm well prepared for my geometry class. I believe that life isn't perfect. Sometimes things fall apart. Sometimes you're meant to color outside the lines, even scribble all over the page, smashing the colors together to create a masterpiece. That is the moment you realize that even failure can't hold you back. And you do become perfect. Perfectly flawed, but perfect nonetheless.
Volleyball has our last 2 home games this week on Tuesday and Thursday.
And Thursday is our senior night, so please come support us. And volleyball girls bring $5 for the senior gift. Thank you.
There's a robotics meeting tomorrow at lunch in the physics room, so please be there.
Today is Yu Ching's 17th birthday, so wish him a happy birthday.
Guild meeting today, we're playing improv games, so if you haven't come before, you should come if you like improv games or theater. Okay. The theater class is presenting their scenes in the style of Stanislavski on Thursday in the theater.
It's at 11:40, so start it promptly at 11:40, so eat your lunch before. There's no food in the theater. Please come. Support us.
Please, before we go, can we just give a really warm round of applause to Mr. Martin for making